Hello, beautiful people. It's day 19 of Exit to Entrepreneurship. Today is Sunday, so typically I would either sleep in or I would go to church. By the grace of God, I got to church. And I have been wrestling with something in my mental because, like, I went in, you don't know, I went in to my job yesterday to basically hand back over all of their belongings and to collect my stuff and walk out. And one of the persons walked up to me and she said to me, "How come you didn't tell me that they fired you?" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, they fired you." And I didn't respond to her. I didn't say anything because truthfully I don't owe any explanations. But in my head I'm just like, so on top of the dishonoring of the agreement that we have, which was the exit was supposed to be in 2 weeks, the rhetoric that is essentially being spread is that, okay, we fired her. And I had to sit with myself with it for a while because truthfully, I know in having a previous company and understanding the ethics and the mindset of the individuals in leadership, it is a matter of protecting their house, protecting the narrative, making sure that their staff feels, some form of stability, right? And I said, you know what, Shamilia, don't correct it, don't say anything. You know what the agreement is and they know what the agreement is, and just leave it as is and release it. And it's just another iteration or reflection of who they are as leaders, and another reason, confirmation why you're no longer in alignment with who they are, what they stand for, the culture, and what they say they are about and what they're actually about internally on an organizational level. And when I tell you the value that I gave to the company, I have not, like, when I enter something, I give it 100%. And I was committed to ensuring that my students were cream of the crop. My students was A1. My students was the best of the best. And I would tell them my expectations from the beginning of the day. And now to see where they're at and to see them flourish. And yesterday one of my students graduated and I was so proud because I know how good she is. And it's just testament to Shamilia. Forget all the BS that is happening. What you said you was going to do, you did, which was you wanted to pay it forward, you wanted to pass on skills, you wanted to empower new hairstylists, you wanted to give them the information. And I had to say, bro, just let it go, release it, because you're not holding on to that, because it's a distraction. And truthfully, as you elevate and as you ascend into the fullness of what you designed your career to be, they're still gonna be in the same position. They're still gonna have a revolving door, and they're still gonna be grappling with things, because until you have persons in position of leadership that is competent and that understands how to manage persons, understands how to hire properly, understand how to train and develop, then you're constantly going to have that situation. And just let it go. It's no longer a part of you. So one of my prayers this morning in church was, Lord, release everything within me that is holding on something to essentially how this entire situation was handled, because it was a mismanagement. And the truth is, the mismanagement wasn't just directed to me, it's just essentially how they mismanage people. And I had to take myself out of it and say, hey, this is not a personal attack, this is simply just how they do what they do. So my guidance and my essentially what I'm coaching myself through right now is release them. Release them for you, not for them. Release them so that you could put the majority of your energy back into your business. Release them because you don't want to hold them in your heart. Release them because you don't want to remember any of the unethical or any of the, like, it was just a lot of nitpicking, and I don't need to hold that energy because I don't want to pour that energy into anything that I do. So on day 19, it is about releasing people who have wronged you, mismanaged you, or not handled you properly, because it was not about you, it was about them. So that's their reflection, that's their projection, and you just keep moving forward and do what you gotta do, and you're gonna be amazing, because you are amazing, and you're gonna actually contribute in the way you want to contribute, because the distortion was not that you weren't doing what you said you wanted to do, it was that they didn't want to play their part in it. They couldn't see the higher calling. So textured hair education is launching in 19 days, and it's gonna be lit, because I believe that women who look like me, women who have hair textures like me, women who come where I come from, women who just is everything about my essence, that we deserve to be cared for by persons who are knowledgeable about us, about the intricacies and the delicate nature of our hair. And yeah, that's the direction I'm moving in. Happy Sunday, guys.